I'm going to show you the two easiest ways that you can figure out if you are properly rated or not. I'll be teaching you how to fish, and you will mainly use this tool for two reasons. Okay. One, you're about to attend your CMP exam, so you got to understand how the VA rates that condition. Or two, you are already service connected and you are now wondering about increasing that percentage. The first way is through our website, and I've made this as easy as possible to use. So let's go ahead and jump right in. This is Google, okay? I'm going to go up top and go to CIVDivonline.com, and this link will be in the pinned comment, all right? So this is CIVDivonline.com. There you go. It's a one-stop shop, or at least that's the purpose of this website. Now, hinting towards the CMP exams and the increases, you can see mental health, migraines, ear conditions, respiratory, neck, shoulders, lower back, hip and thigh, knee, ankle, foot, hypertension, IBS, and GERD. All you need to do if you want to figure out how, let's say, migraines are rated, you would click this. Now, we're going to be focusing on this link, but guess what? If you are a visual learner like myself, I'm a very visual type person, hands-on type, then you have the videos there explaining exactly what I'm about to show you. And then there's some M21. There's multiple videos on whatever it is you're looking for. But let's go ahead and click this link here. It's going to bring us to the Reddit, the subreddit of veterans benefits. All this is, it's a digestible version of 38 CFR. Okay. The second tool I'm going to show you is 38 CFR itself and how to navigate that. But I like using this tool. And so here we go, right here. Bam, right in front of your face. This is how migraines are rated, right? You can see 0, 10, 30, or 50%. And then 50% is very frequent, completely prostrating and prolonged attacks, productive of severe economic inadaptability. There we go. That's how migraines are rated. Okay. Let's go ahead and just kind of look at how other conditions are rated so you can get the feel for this. Let's look at the shoulders. Okay. Shoulders and arms. So we have shoulders, we have elbows and forearms, and then wrists. And again, there's videos here, how the VA rates shoulder conditions, how the VA rates the forearm, elbow and forearm, and then how the VA rates the wrist. Let's go ahead and focus in on shoulders here. So what we're going to do is click on this link, learn more. Bam. Here's how shoulders are rated. So this is range of motion, ratings based on limitations of range of motion, ROM. And it shows you the little diagram here. This is copy and pasted from 38 CFR. And then you have dominant and then non-dominant ratings. All right. And then abduction or flexion. And then you have how the VA rates those conditions. So the purpose of this website is to make it as easy as possible for you, the veteran, to understand exactly how you're going to figure out how the VA rates that condition and the symptoms for that condition. Now, it's not gaming the game, and there is no lying, okay? And if you lie, the VA ban hammer will come down on you very, very hard and very, very swift. So that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is veterans don't even understand what the heck is wrong with them until they're told, right? So how are we as veterans able to articulate our symptoms to the CMP examiner if we don't even understand our symptoms in the first place? And mental health really comes to mind there whenever I say that. But the second tool I'm going to show you is the source document for both my website and that subreddit, right? Not the M21, although it's a very, very, very large piece of it. We're going to be focusing on 38 CFR. And yes, there's a very simple way you can navigate 38 CFR. We're going to look at plantar fasciitis and mental health. So you have plantar fasciitis. You're wondering, how the heck does a VA rate that condition? You know, I don't want to go to CIVDivonline.com because that guy sucks for whatever reason. So what we're going to do is type in our condition, plantar fasciitis. Hopefully I spelled that right. Boom. That's the template there. Type in your condition. This can be whatever condition you got going on. Acid reflux, IBS, flat feet, whatever you have going on. We're using plantar fasciitis as the example. So type that in first. Then you're going to type in 38 CFR eCFR. Hit enter. Boom. Gunny Google spits out and tells us, so we're looking at the eCFR rating. You're going to find a ton of other websites like law firms and all this other stuff. Don't worry about any of that. Use the ecfr.gov link. That's the one you want to use. So let's go ahead and click on the first link. Now, instead of sifting through, this is musculoskeletal, right? Instead of sifting through that whole thing, what you're going to do is Control F and type in plantar, because that's what we're looking for. And here you will find everywhere in this CFR that says plantar. Now you have to do some reading here, right? So this is of the ankle. Ankylosis is loss of use. So loss of use of the ankle, that's not what we're looking for, right? So let's keep on going down. Here we go. The next code is 5269 plantar fasciitis. You want to ask me, you know, people, whenever I do my live streams, they say, hey, how is plantar fasciitis rated? One, I've looked at this so many times, so I remember it. But if I don't remember it, this is exactly what I'm doing. This whole process takes me about 30 seconds to find. Start to finish, logging on Google, typing in the condition, 38 CFR, eCFR, and then I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll. So you want to know how plantar fasciitis is rated? Go to Google, type that in, Control F, look at plantar, boom, here we go. At 30%, so there's a bilateral and unilateral factor here. You have no relief from both non-surgical and surgical treatment. Bilateral meaning both. Okay, boom. If that's not you, go down. No relief from both non-surgical and surgical treatment. So same thing as the top, except for it's unilateral. So your left or your right foot. Bilateral is both sides. Unilateral is one side. And then otherwise, unilateral or bilateral, meaning you have plantar fasciitis. You won't find a 0% rating for that. So you have plantar fasciitis, you know, you don't meet the 20 or 30% criteria. So now you are rated at 10%. And there we go. Now there are some notes down here. And this is where it kind of gets complicated, but really you don't have to understand all of this. You really want to understand your symptoms. But with these notes, with the actual loss of use of the foot, rate 40%. So if you have plantar fasciitis and you meet the loss of use criteria, you have a 40% rating, boom. And then here we go for if a veteran has been recommended for surgical intervention, but is not a surgical candidate, maybe due to age, maybe due to other existing conditions, whatever that reason is, meaning you need surgery, but your healthcare professional just doesn't feel comfortable with surgery for your situation, evaluate under the 20% or 30% criteria, whichever is applicable. So if you've been recommended surgery, but you can't have it for whatever reason, or you choose not to, you automatically rate the 20 or 30% criteria if we're talking about unilateral or bilateral. And that's 38 CFR. Now I'm going to show you how to look up mental health just one more time here. The reason I'm going to show you mental health is because there are multiple rating codes for mental health. So what are we going to do? Mental health, we're going to type in our condition, 38 CFR, eCFR. Notice how I don't say major depressive disorder or general anxiety disorder or PTSD. You can do that. That's fine. It'll all take you to the same place. You can also be broad and say mental health. So there we go. We'll click on this. And the reason I want to show you, so here's the general rating formula for mental disorders. And just like plantar fasciitis, right? Instead of very, very simple and 30, 20, 10, this has multiple symptoms of 100, 70, 50, 30, 10, and 0. The reason why I want to show you this is because you have general schedules. And under general schedules, you'll have multiple rating codes. So from 9201 all the way down to 9440, right? Chronic adjustment disorder, unspecified depressive disorder, MDD, persistent bipolar, conversion, somatic. All these conditions are all rated under general rating formula for mental disorders. The VA rates symptoms, not the diagnosis. Keep that in mind. The diagnosis is just a diagnostic code on where your symptoms are going to fall at. That's why we'll see hiatal hernia for GERD as of right now until May 19th of this year, right? The VA rates symptoms, and that's it. That is how veterans find if they're properly rated for that condition, meaning you want to increase, you want to figure out if you rate the increase or not, or you're going into a CMP exam and you want to be able to articulate what the heck is actually happening, whether in here, in your mind, right, with mental health, what you feel, or actual symptoms from the musculoskeletal structure like plantar fasciitis, flat feet, your knees, your spine, your lower back, upper back, whatever have you. Just go ahead and use CIVDivonline.com in the pinned comment or use Gunny Google. Either is okay.